Gamera vs. Gyaos is the third Gamera film, and it was released in the US as Return of the Giant Monsters. And why the hell couldn't they ever use the name Gamera on any of the USA titles? And another thing is that it says Monsters with an S, even though Gamera was the only one returning. And the movie starts off with a volcanic explosion, which makes Gamera go apeshit for it. So I can assume that he loves volcanoes and would expect him to come near it and stuff like that. And the new enemy Gyaos is a funny looking thing. And you know how they kind of mix the monsters Barugan with Baragon and how they exchange names? This time this new monster can extract from Rodan because they both can fly really fast and they both can use sort of the same abilities too. Gyaos shoots a laser beam or whatever out of his mouth, and Rodan shoots fire like Godzilla. And Gyaos would also become a memorable antagonist in the Gamera franchise, appearing in Gamera Guardian of the Universe and Gamera the Brave. So if you think about it, he's more like the King Ghidorah of the Godzilla series, because he is in more than one, and yeah. This movie is annoying a little because they mostly waste a lot of scenes that just go on about what Gyaos is all about, not to mention he has a second neck or whatever, but it totally makes it up with the monster fights because they at least fight more than once this time, and I like how each time you discover something new about the monster, like on how he has a contrariety about the sun. So if you think about it, he's more like a vampire. And not to mention that when Gamera dismembered one of his toes in another fight, which they also waste time talking about, he is in a cave and he alleviated one of his toes, and we learned something new. Yay! This would also be featured in the movie mocking television show of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Gyaos, Gyaos. Daylight come and everyone go home.
What, did somebody write that with soap on a window or something?
We also learned that he loves blood, and from here we already know he's a vampire, and they try to make him dizzy, which fails miserably, but soon Gamera comes back for another fight. So Gyaos starts shooting that laser out of his mouth, and in one of the fights it slices right through Gamera's arm, almost like it's about to fall off, but Gamera uses his fire ability, then spin dashes him into a pile of rocks. So Gamera plays a little dodge laser with Gyaos, and a little kid is cheering him on. Did he just say Gamera? Man, just like Gigantus. So over and over and over, Gyaos grabs Gamera, or should I say Gamera, and he starts tossing him around and around, and they show the same shot of him carrying him and throwing him down. So again does Gyaos start shooting those lasers, and Gamera reaches for a rock and bullseyes Gyaos right in the mouth, which is hilarious. So my tip to you is to stick to Godzilla fights. They're better. Gamera trips him into a bridge and he starts biting him to death and reveals purple blood spewing out of his neck. Then Gamera lifts him with his jetpack and he takes him somewhere that is a liking to Gamera, which is a volcano that Gamera went all lovey-dovey on. And Gyaos falls and dies, and Gamera is happy. Then they randomly show stock footage of the first film and the second, so what a movie. I certainly think it's better than Gamera vs. Barugan because the monster Gyaos was more iconic in the Gamera series and will return later on. So until then, Gamera will just fly away and learn more from the King of the Monsters on how to make better fighting sequences, man.